Olly, Makir and Hugo are 3 UK-based seminarians. They were given the opportunity from their dioceses to travel overseas and experience the Missionary Church in Kenya through Missio and Mill Hill missionary projects. In this new video series, they shared with us the many signs of hope they experienced on their journey.
So I've been seeing the Missio red boxes all my life, and to see that from my church back in England, and then we got to visit the young people who have been, as Hugo said, homeless and now being rehabilitated and helped. And we went in, and these kids were all, running around, and they were so loving, and the Mill Hill sisters and the fathers supporting them, and then also obviously Missio giving the funds and stuff to really change these people's lives. It was amazing to see, the red box with that £1, whatever you put there, and then see how it has now contributed here in Kenya, and to see with our own eyes. It was remarkable.
The Kisumu Urban Apostolate, that was run by the Mill Hill Fathers, which was supported by Missio. And as when you consider the amount of people who are using that clinic, it really is an inspiration to see such a presence there and how he's doing so much good within the community.
There were some Mill Hill sisters who were living in the house next door to us in the same compound, and they were administering the rehabilitation centre for street kids, boys who were from very sort of complex backgrounds and needed a place to live away from their homes or the places they'd been living, not necessarily homes. They were homeless, a lot of them. So that was run by the Mill Hill sisters, as was the rehabilitation centre for drugs and alcohol abuse, and also a deaf school. So all these fell under the umbrella of Mill Hill, obviously supported by Missio, and so it just goes to show the breadth of the work that Mill Hill and Missio between them accomplish in this mission. It was not just the usual sacramental spiritual needs of the people, but some very specific kinds of aid that they were contributing to the community there.
I think supporting mission is vital. There is the highest mandate to go forth and spread the gospel to every living creature. Sometimes that is verbally, but sometimes that is through actions. I was reading on the Missio website about the sisters who are placed in Lebanon, and they offer medical support. And then also what I found interesting is a specific support of getting people transport to get to the hospitals. I take that for granted in the country where I'm from, but that is a key aspect, a social aspect, which Missio through the sisters are providing, and that mission of helping whoever comes to that door, that is an expression of spreading that gospel. And without mission, those people who are really struggling, they won't have that. They won't have that if these places are taken away. So yeah, mission is living out the Lord's call to its fullest.
And I think Matt touched on something very important there as well about Missio. It's never just a money dump. When you put money in the red box, it's not just flying over some other part of the world in a helicopter, just dropping money or food, because the work is implemented through people on the ground, like the Mill Hill priests, who intimately know the needs of their community. It's always, whatever the form the aid eventually takes, is really, really carefully tailored to the needs of the people there. So that's important, I think.